Okay, so we left off with the divisibility rule by 6. If the number is divisible by 2, that means if it's even, and by 3, that means if the digits add up to be 3, 6, or 9, then it's evenly divisible by 6. Okay, so we're going to continue. We don't have an easy rule for 7 or 8, so we're just going to look at 9 and 10. Okay, to find out if something is divisible by 9, let's first look at some examples. Obviously, if you have a number smaller than 9, it doesn't even make one group of 9, so that's not going to work. If we have 12, we can get one group of 9, but then there's 3 left over, so that doesn't work. Here we have 18. We have one whole group of 9, and then that leaves off right here. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 more. So that works out perfectly. And we also know that 18 divided by 2 equals 9. Then let's take a look at some other numbers. Can you divide 24 evenly by 9? We cannot. How about 27? 27 divided by 9 equals 3, so that one works. 46 divided by 9 does not come out evenly. 81 divided by 9 equals 9. That one works. And then our mystery number will be 216. So let's take a look at all the numbers that do work. And you're welcome, as always, to try some more of your own. See if you can figure out the pattern before I tell you. So 18 works, and let's try the trick where we add the digits together. 1 plus 8 equals 9. Okay. Here, 27, we have 2 plus 7 equals 9. With 81, 8 plus 1 equals 9. So this one is a lot simpler than the 3s and the 6s. If the digits add to 9, or if they add to something like 18, then you just add them one more time and you'll get 9 again. Then you know that the number is divisible by 9. So I have a note on here. Keep adding the digits if the sum is bigger than 9. So when you get into really big numbers, you might add all the digits up and get 18 or 27. So just add those again, and if you get 9, then you know it's divisible by 9. So let's try 216. 2 plus 1 is 3. 3 plus 6 is 9. So yes, it has to be divisible by 9. Okay, and then our last one, is it divisible by 10? Save the best for last here. 10 is divisible by 10. You have one group there with nothing left over. 12 is not evenly divisible by 10 because you have one group of 10 and some leftovers. 20 is perfectly divisible by 10 because you have one group of 10, another group of 10. 24 divided by 10 does not work out nicely. 30 divided by 10 is 3. That works out perfectly. 46 divided by 10? Nope. 80 divided by 10? Yes. And then our mystery number is 510. So let's just look at everything that we said yes to and find the pattern. So pause the video if you want to guess. And the thing that's in common with all of these is that everything that is divisible by 10 ends in a 0. 10, 20, 30, 80. So 510 would be yes. We can divide that evenly by 10. Okay? So that wraps up all of our rules. Now we're going to practice. So we're going to take everything we learned in the first video and in this one and take a look at these numbers and see what can we divide these by. So we'll start with 2 for all of these. Okay, so can 10 be divided by 2? Take a look at your notes if you've been taking notes on all the divisibility rules. So if a number is even, you know you can divide it by 2. 10 is even, so yes, we can divide it by 2. Let's move on to 3. Can we add these up to get 3, 6, or 9? 1 plus 0 is 1, so no. So 3 does not work. Let's move on to 4. Can we cut it in half twice? Well, if you cut 10 in half, you get 5. You cannot cut 5 in half evenly. So 4 does not work. How about 5? Our rule for 5 is that if it ends in 5 or 0, it works. So 5 is a good one. 6, the rule is it has to be divisible by 2 and 3. We have 2 on our list, but we don't have 3, so that disqualifies 6. Then 7 and 8 we don't have a rule for. 9 is the simple one. That means the digits have to add up to be 9, and that does not happen here. So 9 is out. And then 10, it ends in 0, and obviously it is 10. So 10 is divisible by 10 with nothing left over. Okay, I'm not going to do that much depth for all of these. I'm going to go more quickly through, and you have your own practice sheet to use for these. So here goes the quick version. 12 is even, so it's divisible by 2. The digits add up to 3, so it's divisible by 3. You can cut it in half to be 6, and you can cut 6 in half to be 3, so 4 works. It does not end in a 5 or 0, so 5 does not work. It's divisible by 2 and 3, so 6 works. Jumping up to 9, the digits add to be 3, not 9, so 9 does not work. And it does not end in a 5 or 0, so 10 does not work. Okay, so once you get used to it, that's how quickly you can go through these answers here. Let's look at 20. It's even, so 2 works. You cannot, or when you add them, you get 2 plus 0. So 3 does not work. Let's try 4. Can you cut it in half twice? So 20 cut in half is 10. 10 cut in half is 5. That works. So it's divisible by 4. 5 works because it ends in a 5 or 0. 6 does not work because we don't have a 2 and a 3. 9 does not work because it's 2 plus 0. It does not equal 9. And then 10 does work because it ends in a 0. Okay, pause the video and you try 200 and 4,635. Then when you're ready, you can come back and watch the solutions to these. 200 is even, so it's divisible by 2. The numbers do not add up to 3, 6, or 9, so 3 doesn't work. And while we're at it, 9 does not work. How about 4? Can you cut it in half twice? Well, 200 cut in half is 100. 100 cut in half is 50. Yes, that works, so 4 is good. 5 is good because it ends in 5 or a 0. 6 is out of the game because we don't have a 2 and a 3. 9 is out of the game because it does not add up to 9. And 10 is good because it ends in a 0. Okay, now let's try the big number here. Jump right in with 2. 2 does not work because it does not end in an even number. 3, to find 3 we'll have to add up all these digits. So 4 plus 6 is 10. 10 plus 3 is 13. 13 plus 5 is 18. Let's add, so look at 18, add those numbers. 1 and 8 makes 9. So actually we are good to go. If the digits add up to be 3, 6, or 9, then you know it's divisible by 3. Okay, can we cut it in half twice? This is our divisibility by 4 test. Well, it fails at the first one because it is not an even number, so it's not going to be able to cut in half 2 times. Let's go to 5. It is divisible by 5 because it ends in a 5. 6 is disqualified because we don't have a 2 and a 3. 9 works. We already mentioned that when you add these all up, you get 18. And then taking that one step further, 1 plus 8 is 9. So we know 9 works. Okay, and then 10 does not work because it does not end in a 0. So that is how you do divisibility tests for 1 through 10, 2 through 10. Okay, so you have your sheet that hopefully you've filled out all of those rules by now. And then you have your practice sheet. See which one of those works. And then I want to end with a little note about this. So these 2 videos together are one part of the entire multiplication with an abacus course that I've created. And it is currently 1 unit away from being finished, but by the time you see this, it might be complete already. So this is a sample of the multiplication unit from my Developing Number Sense Part 2 course, due to be completed by October. So it's still available for a pre-launch price, but as soon as I put the finishing touches on the last unit, we'll go into full launch mode. So if you want in on the pre-launch price, you still have a chance to do that if you watch this video. And then a quick note on the terms of use. This workbook and this video are only intended for single home or classroom use. So my Part 1 course, Developing Number Sense, is complete. It focuses on using 10 frames to subitize, compose, and decompose numbers, and add and subtract numbers up through 100. Part 2 covers everything from Part 1 at a much faster pace, so that it's better suited for kids 2 years and older. So Part 1 is great if you have preschoolers and you're just beginning your math journey. This is designed for them. It goes from the very beginning of building numbers, recognizing numbers, all the way up through 1st to 2nd grade math. So all of that is covered in one course. And then Part 2 covers all of that again for people who have already learned it, but they could use a little bit more of a stronger foundation in how numbers work, some addition, subtraction strategies to lay the basis for moving into multiplication and division, and use all of that as a really strong foundation for the rest of the math that they'll ever encounter in their life. Okay, so if you want to see more about either of these courses, here is the link. I'll also leave it in the notes below this. And I want to leave you with a coupon code. Use coupon code BTS30 to save 30% on any math course. That coupon code is still valid. I will add a note below this once that expires, because once I go into full launch mode, a lot of things are going to change about the pricing. But I want to get this in your guys' hands, give you a chance to see it, and grab that for a really discounted price if it looks like something that will be helpful to you. All right, thank you so much for watching this, and we'll look forward to seeing you on the next video.